Okay, so what do you guys think is the greatest mascot of all time? You can choose from professional teams, college teams, but you got to pick the greatest mascot of all time. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go to the intro. Okay, Colton, what is the greatest mascot?
The greatest mascot of all time, the Philly Fanatic. Have you ever heard of him?
I've never even heard
No.
of that.
Okay, so it's an MLB team, the Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, and the Philly Fanatic is this huge, like, green, fluffy monster guy.
What?
And he's known for doing, like, all sorts of crazy stuff that is, like, hilarious. So, like, challenging umpires to, like, dance competitions or skydiving onto the field.
Whoa.
Yeah, or,
Wow.
like, you know how there's T-shirt cannons?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He'd have hot dog cannons, shooting hot dogs into the stands.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just funny mascot to watch.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Okay. Well, I have an opinion on this. I think that the Oregon Ducks have the greatest mascot of all time. Because if you think about it, most mascots are animals.
Yeah.
And the greatest animal of all time is probably the duck. And the reason I say this is because what other animal in the world excels at flying, swimming, and walking on land? If you think about it, there's only a couple other animals that can do that.
Like a penguin.
No, penguins can't fly.
Nor can they walk.
Well, they can walk.
They can
well.
waddle.
But there's
Yeah.
there's a couple other species of birds, but I think ducks by far the coolest. So that is the coolest mascot in my opinion. Oregon Ducks.
Well, that's pretty cool, but I think mine is cooler.
Okay.
All right, so the Utah Mammoth, it's a hockey team, professional hockey team. They
Wait,
have
Utah has a hockey team?
Yeah.
never heard of it.
Utah's got mountains. But anyway, their mascot is a big blue mammoth, and his name is Tusky.
Ooh. How big?
He's 6'5".
That's pretty big.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's a mountain blue mammoth, and he just looks really cool. You just look up a picture of him.
Okay.
I would say, I don't know if this is the greatest, but it's doing the best it can in its situation. So the
Okay.
Washington Commanders. That's the lamest name you could ever have in football. Their logo's trash.
Okay.
But their mascot kind of helps. Their mascot is a war pig.
A war
a
pig.
war pig?
That's what it's called.
Okay.
A war pig.
What does a war pig look like?
Imagine a pig, but just in like a general's outfit. That's
Okay.
what a war pig is.
When I think of war pig, I think of orcs from Lord of the Rings.
It actually, well, it's not exactly like that, but in a way it kind of is. But
Or
it's
like
so funny.
a
It's
warthog or something.
no, it's a
Yeah.
pig. But
Well,
yeah,
I know, but
it's one of the funniest things to see during like a game. You just see this pig under the this pig all dressed up under the field goals. Pretty funny.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
All right. In case you guys forgot, we are still selling our Idiosyncrasy shirts.
that's right. They're still available till one more week. All right.
April 23rd, 2026.
So order them. Keep ordering them. Thanks for
Indigo
everybody who already
blue.
has. Blue color.
Limited edition.
Limited edition.
Yeah.
Get them now.
Indeed.
Before it's too
Before-
late.
yep.
Yeah.
Only
Kate
what?
said.
$17?
$17 a shirt.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Steal of a deal.
Get them while they last.
So imagine with me, you're about to inherit an orchard, and on that orchard there's 100 fruit trees.
Okay.
But you get to choose what fruit it is, but it's only one fruit.
Only one
What fruit would you choose?
Ooh, that's hard.
I'm assuming you can be in any climate, so it could, I guess, be like even if you cocoa or coffee, or it could be those are fruit, or it could be like mangoes, or it could be an American fruit.
Mm.
All right. I got my answer.
What is it?
I would have them be blackberries.
What?
That's not really a tree. Oh, I guess there's
Blackberries. They're kind
I
of
would
shrubs.
turn them into a bush.
Okay.
Somehow, some way.
they're blackberry bushes, not trees.
I would make it work.
Okay.
So we got
I'd
blackberry
do blackberries,
trees
yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I just never get tired of blackberries. It's like the perfect crunch and squishy combination.
going. Not
Makes your
even the
face all
seeds
purple.
bother you in the
My
purple?
face?
Yeah, when you eat them.
No.
No.
Wow. I can't believe you said blackberries.
Yeah, 'cause it's
Blackberries.
not really a tree, but maybe you just have like a weird breed of mulberry.
Mulberries are pretty good.
Yeah, they are.
but
They're just too soft.
not
like
enough
ship.
to have 100 trees of them in your orchard.
No.
One tree.
I think
gets
what I would put in my orchard is oranges,
you. Ooh.
Oh.
like big oranges. You
The
know.
ones with the seeds or the cuties that don't have the seeds?
Well, I don't. I think the ones with the seeds.
Like
'cause
the big pomegranate
Yeah,
size
big-
oranges.
big
Yeah.
oranges, real oranges, not cuties.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those are
Yep,
good.
just because they'd be so juicy. You could just go out, grab an orange, peel it real quick, throw the peels on the ground because it's biodegradable, and just take
That'd
a
be
bite
A lot of oranges.
into an orange.
Mhm.
Be wonderful.
Yep.
Well, I would say cherries because I like the taste of cherries, but they have the pits. So I'm going to have to go with apples because,
Okay.
yeah, it's probably the best fruit I can think of that grows on a tree.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would think for me, if I was trying to make money, I'd probably get like cocoa trees, you know,
Mhm.
and grow chocolate, or that'd probably be the most profitable.
Wait, is chocolate a fruit?
Yeah. It comes. It's the seed or chocolate. It comes from a fruit.
Okay.
But I think I would honestly probably pick mango trees.
No.
Wow.
You like
100 mango trees.
Yeah, it's my favorite fruit.
Well,
Be-
if Cade's not here on the podcast next week, just know we kicked him out for tasting mango.
No, they're good.
Okay.
I like them.
Because my answer was quote unquote unacceptable, I will change it to pears.
Okay.
Pear trees.
What type of pear?
No, pears are good. If you
Just
get
a regular pear.
Like the green?
Yeah, the green
Yeah.
pears. Oh, they're so good. I mean, the peel is a little bit bitter at first, but then it mixes in with the sweet, and it's just
Oh, yeah.
like the perfect.
Another one that could be fun would be plums.
I don't think I've
Mm,
ever had a plum.
Plums are good, but I don't know about that many plums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but on the pear thing, you have to get them when they're perfectly ripe. Otherwise, they're too
Yeah.
hard
Or
or they're
too
way too
mushy.
squishy.
Yep.
yeah, so you could eat all the ones you want to eat at that time, but most of them you'd have to like somehow sell them probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or freeze them. I don't know if you can freeze them.
See, that's the thing about apples. They're like probably one of the most recognized and common fruits that people buy.
Oh yeah, you know
So-
apples they actually can sit in like a refrigerated factory for I think up to 5 months before they sell them.
Well, it's probably best you didn't tell me that, but
Yeah, but they just like last a long time at the right
Yeah.
temperature.
and they taste the best.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
What's your favorite apple?
Ooh,
That is a good question.
I think my favorite overall, like the most consistent I enjoy would be Fuji.
Fuji?
Yeah.
Are those green?
Food.
No, they're red.
Oh, they're
They're
red.
red.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good. They're like more crisp than Red Delicious, but they're
Mhm.
still sweet.
Yeah.
I think mine would be Jonathan's.
Really?
Ooh.
They're a small apple, but they're so good. You just like take a bite out of them, and they are just juicy and they taste great.
Yeah.
Colton, what about you?
I didn't even know there were different kinds of apples until right now.
Okay. Well, me personally, it's a toss-up between Granny Smith
Yeah.
and Honeycrisp. Granny Smith, I eat Granny Smith almost every day. Put a little lemon juice in a bag and then put the little apple slices in a bag. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But then I also like Honeycrisp because they're just a little bit sour with that crunch. so-
Honeycrisp are pretty good too.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures, and the Honeycrisp looks the best right now.
Yeah. Okay.
I do like Gala too.
Yeah, those are good.
Mhm.
Yeah. My main thing is I think Red Delicious are way overrated.
I don't know that I've had a Red Delicious.
They've always been like too soft and like grainy.
Yeah.
Maybe I've just had bad ones, but I've never had one I really enjoyed.
Yeah. If it's a grainy, I don't like it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's comment time again, and we have a couple. Another one from Declan and Maya. They both asked the same question. Lane, do you want to explain what happened here?
All right. So back when we were talking about oil last episode,
Yeah.
we were talking about splitting the revenue with the oil company, and
Uh-huh.
I had said you could split it 70-40. And I think some of you took that like I was taking it seriously, but I was trying to be funny.
I said that.
When
Yeah.
I said it like because 70-40.
It adds
I
to
know
110.
it adds to 110, so it's like the funny thing where like I don't know my percentages.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
thought
you-
it was funny.
Me too.
And maybe he was just trying to give 110%, like all your coaches say. So
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe. But
Maybe.
it was meant as a joke. I do know what 70 plus 40 equals, so
But what if you did break it 70-40? Wouldn't everybody make more money then?
Hey, why don't we just
Hey.
do
Hey,
that?
that was last week's
Okay.
episode.
We can
Yeah.
solve the economic crisis of the world real quick.
We just moved to a 200% system, and then everything will look great. Well, no, I don't know. Oh, you're gonna read another comment, right?
Okay, well, this question, it was submitted, and I don't even think we even have to address it, but we're going to
So,
anyway.
okay. Yeah.
It was from Georgia, and she said, which one is better, Chick-fil-A or Subway?
We hope you were joking in that comment.
Yep.
Kind of like Lane was about the 70-40.
Yeah.
We kind of already settled this when we made the perfect fast food restaurant. Subway wasn't even a part of anything.
Well, Adam
and
did.
Chick-fil-A was part of like
Or I
at
think
least
we-
half of it.
We did talk about their speed, but that's about all they got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't get me wrong, I like sandwiches, but I'm not going to go to a restaurant to build a sandwich that I could just make myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I want to go to a restaurant, I'm going to buy hot food.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we didn't offend anybody with that, but Chick-fil-A is better.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement, if that's a word.
Yeah, agreement is a word. Okay, well, thanks for submitting your questions to the podcast, and keep them coming.
Yeah. Questions are fun if they're good.
Yeah, that's how topics start, is with questions. So
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. We are going to talk about our biggest culture shocks of all time.
ooh, that's a fun one.
So, like,
Yeah.
if you go on a vacation and you like don't fit in, or everything's weird, you know, nobody around you speaks English.
I don't think we've ever had that happen, but
Yeah.
All right, back a while back, we went on a trip to Canada, to Toronto.
2017 was it?
Yep, and we were just going around sightseeing, you know, Niagara Falls, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We were in
Yeah.
the Toronto-ish area, but we were walking around a mall one day, and everybody up there had these big coats with the fur around the neck and everything. And we were just a family of 6 walking around. My dad had a old ripped up Carhartt coat on. Oh,
Yeah. Those are cool.
They are cool, but
You could
everybody
tell
in
they were tourists.
Toronto had like the fancy coats,
Yeah.
and they probably looked on us with shame because we had all Walmart coats and everything. But that's probably one of the biggest culture shocks I've ever been in.
Yeah,
Just like looking around and seeing how everyone dressed up there compared to how we do it normally.
Yeah, one thing I noticed there was like everything was in kilometers or in metric units, so it was really hard to know how fast you were going when you were driving and stuff like that. Yeah, and everything there was also in French and English both.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was all the prices were just like slightly higher because they were in Canadian dollars and not U.S.
Oh,
And
yeah.
one other thing, they get their milk in bags, not jugs. It's so weird. But
Yeah.
you walk into the milk section, and there's just bags full of milk, not milk jugs.
We spent probably like 20 minutes just looking for milk because we were in a hotel up there and we were going to stock the little mini fridge.
Yeah.
And we could not find the milk, and finally we were like, you know what? They have milk in bags here. There's not even cartons or jugs up there, so it was really weird.
Huh.
Kay, do you have something for culture shocks?
I've only really traveled in the U.S., and the U.S. is pretty standardized in a lot of ways. Where everywhere kind of looks the same and almost feels the same in a way.
Big cities are pretty different though.
Yeah, there is differences.
So
But I don't spend a lot of time in big cities.
me neither. I went to an Indian restaurant one time, and it was first time going to an Indian restaurant. It was pretty weird. They had like a buffet, and they were playing Bollywood on the TV.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It just
Huh.
felt wrong. 'Cause here's us. It was weird.
Do you have like curry and
Yeah, it was like all that weird stuff.
Oh, could you even stand the heat?
What?
the food was probably spicy, wasn't it?
Most of it was, but I tried to get the non-spicy stuff because it was a buffet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it was weird because you walked in and you could tell like I'm not in the right place. I should be at the McDonald's or something.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's the coolest vacation you've ever been on?
Ooh. I would say, I think the coolest one, I don't remember it much, but I was, well, maybe not at all. But I was, I think, 1.5. And me and my mom and dad, my dad had like he had some like work trip or something,
Mhm.
and he went to San Diego, California. And so me and my mom went with them. And since I was like very young, it was just us 3, which wouldn't be a very normal trip, especially in a larger family that I had. But I was young enough where they kind of had to bring me along. And I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure I had lots of fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
In California.
I'd say the coolest vacation I've ever been on. I went to the Grand Canyon
Ooh.
about, I don't know, maybe 1 year ago, 2 years ago. And
Yeah.
that was just I mean, it was absurd.
Was it grand?
It was more than grand.
Yeah.
I
I've always
mean-
heard of people being disappointed with its size.
No.
No?
I can't see that.
It's giant.
It's huge.
I mean, you
like
can
you
see
think
the
of the
other
Grand
side.
Canyon and you're like, you're like in your head you're like, man, it's got to be big. You go there and you can't see the end of it.
Huh.
It's huge.
Well, and the thing is, my brother Lane, the one sitting here,
This one?
he is so not afraid of heights, and so it's just terrifying to watch him and all those other
Ooh.
people over there going on the edge and
Yeah.
leaning
Did you, like,
over,
take
taking
your feet off the
selfies.
edge?
I
Just
didn't.
get
but
away from it.
And
I did try when we went to the Grand Canyon. It was a long time ago, but so we were pretty young, and I would go close to the edge, and my mom would freak out.
yeah. You can go to the gift shop and there's like this book that you can buy and it has like a record of all the people who have died at the Grand Canyon.
Oh.
Do you know how many, like, annually they have?
I can't remember, but it was a good amount.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my
Is-
mom wouldn't even let me come within like 10 feet of the edge.
Yeah, I thought for sure they'd have a rail when I went, but they did not.
Well, I mean,
And
they
some
had
spots-
rails,
have
and then you
rails.
could go past the rails to like the rock section.
Mm-hmm.
They say, according to Google, 10 to 15 people die per year.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's because people aren't very smart.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
That book was brutal too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my.
But you know, that
goodness.
kind of makes it more fun to go too, because like it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
quote
And
unquote
then
dangerous.
You could go at night, and you could like go out where the rails are. You could just lay down, and it's like completely dark.
Oh
You
yeah.
can see the stars and everything. And we went and we looked down in the Grand Canyon, and there's a little campfire down there.
Did you actually go in it or no?
No. That we only were there. We were at the Grand Canyon for like only one day, I think, 1 or 2 days.
Okay.
So if we wanted to go in, it'd have to be like a week-long thing at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
So.
Did you go to all the other national parks around there or not?
I think it was just we went to a few like
Zion, probably.
yeah, Zion, what's it called? The Green Table in Spanish.
Mesa Verde.
Mesa Verde and
Well, yeah.
yep.
How about you, Adam? What's your favorite vacation?
Man, I've been to probably my top two are
No, we said favorite.
okay. My favorite one was probably when we went up through Yellowstone and then into the Tetons and all those places. But
Okay.
just the colors, I think, is what shocked me most. Like if you look in those Yellowstone pools, just how blue they are.
Wow.
That's probably okay. I did not even mean to do that.
Could you tell
But,
me
like,
how blue they were?
That was one of the most beautiful, if I use that word, colors I have ever
Yeah.
seen. Is those
Beautiful.
pools.
Yeah. How
And-
beautiful was the blue?
It was
Blue.
pretty good. And
Yeah.
then the other thing is at Glacier National Park up there, we saw a lake, and this lake was really deep, but it was also the clearest water I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You could see all the way to the bottom, no matter how far out you looked. You could just see all the way to the bottom. It was really cool. And then we jumped in it a little bit, and we're absolutely freezing. But yeah, that was probably one of the coolest places I've ever been.
Wow.
Oh.
Both of those parks. And just like the fact that water shoots up out of the ground at regular intervals was pretty cool also.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
Old Faithful.
Mm-hmm.
We actually got to see it erupt when we were there, so that was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Grand Canyon, but yeah. On our way either there or back, we drove on Route 66 a lot, and in Cars,
Oh yeah.
their tire shop,
Mhm.
Yeah.
they actually had a real restaurant that looked exactly like that on Route 66.
Did they build it after the movie, or did the movie?
It had to have been after the movie.
Okay, because it looks
And-
exactly the same.
Yeah, like almost exactly the same, except it was a restaurant.
Huh.
And it was kind of hard to find parking, so my dad in our huge 1998 van, he parked in a Tesla charging spot.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you
Yeah.
just pretend like he was charging it?
Yep. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Stick the electric thing in the gas tank. Kids, don't do this at home.
He moved afterwards, but it was pretty funny.
Lane, how about you?
I think one of my favorite vacations is the trip to Canada that we went on. We got to see Niagara Falls, and it's cool to think about how much water flows over that thing daily. It's like 65 billion gallons,
Wow.
which
Really?
Yeah.
is a really lot of water
Yeah.
every day.
That'd be a big drink.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
What color was the waterfall?
It was kind of white.
Yeah.
I mean, because of the
Okay.
Cade was trying to trap me into saying blue, but we also got to, while we were in Canada, we got to tour some castles and stuff.
Ooh.
And one of the castles we went to had a whole bunch of secret rooms in it. And like just after we left, they had found a secret cellar full of wine, I think it was.
That is something I wish America had. Because it's so young, there's like hardly any castles at all.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
a few forts,
But
kind of, but
we-
there's no like cool castles.
Mm-hmm.
We have prisons.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
we
people
went
just
to-
don't build out of stone anymore.
We
I
went
think.
to the old Montana prison.
yeah,
It is pretty creepy, man.
yeah, but that's not the same as a castle.
No, it's true, but it's
Yeah.
pretty
'Cause
crazy.
that'd be cool if there's castles everywhere.
Well, yeah, and like just every house these days, they're not unique. They need to have secret tunnels,
Yeah,
but people don't have the money to do that either. So
yeah, and building code and all that stuff.
yeah. Back in the day when they
Taxes.
didn't have any building codes, they could do whatever they
Yeah.
wanted. Other than that, I'd say our trip to Tennessee was pretty cool. All those mountains we hiked around in. We saw quite a few black bears down there. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Actually, one time we were up on not a ski lift, but what do you call those?
Gondola.
A gondola. And right below us, probably about 20 feet, there was just a black bear. And we're like, well, hopefully you can't climb that pole, otherwise we're toast. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun. That place was a whole lot more touristy, Tennessee was.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you guys know the game. Would you rather?
Yeah.
Where you
Yes.
say one option or the other, and you pick which one you'd prefer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to play that, but with a twist.
Okay.
We could call it like weird. Would you rather or wacky? Would you rather?
'Kay.
But the premise of this game is instead of just like normal, like would you rather have pancakes or waffles, two comparable things,
Mhm.
you pick would you rather to something that's not comparable at all.
Ooh.
So like Adam, would you rather be a blade of grass or eat a cheeseburger?
Ooh. I can safely say that being a blade of grass would have no appeal to me. And I'm going for the cheeseburger.
Okay, good choice.
Mm-hmm.
So is this like where one option is like way more obvious than the other,
Doesn't have
or
to
is
be.
It
it?
doesn't have
Well,
to be obvious.
it-
They're just not comparable at all.
I'd say
Okay.
it depends on the burger.
Yeah, like Lane.
Yeah.
it depends on the
I've
depends
never
on the
met
burger.
a cheeseburger I don't like.
If it's like a Burger King burger, I've never had a Burger King burger, so I don't know what it tastes
You
like.
might rather be a blade of grass.
So are you a blade
But
of
if you're a
grass
blade
for
of
your
grass,
whole
just
life?
imagine the good old days when rain's coming down on you and you're.
And then you get a haircut.
Yeah, but then that's that day when you get eaten by some kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just not really anything that I would want.
I'd have to
From
go
a-
with the blade of grass though.
It could be fun to
Wait,
like
really?
go. Wait,
Yeah.
you'd rather be a blade of grass than eat
Well,
a cheeseburger.
If it's a Burger King burger,
Okay.
or like a DQ burger, or even a Brahms burger,
Yeah,
I'm going to blade of grass.
for the rest of your life until you die. Wow.
Well, yeah.
What a
When does the
choice.
blade of grass die?
At the end of the year, probably. You
What
know when it
if
turns brown.
You die and you don't have a soul, so you just cease to exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
If,
about
on the
us?
other hand, if
Our
it's
new
an In-N-Out
topic, does
burger,
grass have a soul?
I had another one. Would you rather always be out of black printer ink or have to work at Walmart?
Oh, that's actually one that is more like more easy, more harder to decide.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to do this, but working at Walmart would have its benefits because, I mean, you just see so many people, and like the people at Walmart are pretty interesting. So it's
Yeah.
kind of fun just to watch and see all the
Would
kind of
you
people.
want to
that
be
come
like
by.
you do like the online orders, or would you be work at the register or like stock the shelves?
I would want to do.
Janitor.
I probably want to stock the shelves. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Because I like organizing and categorizing, so that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you,
I
Colton?
like my black printer ink way too much to.
The thing is, if you worked at Walmart, how often would you need black printer ink?
That's true.
I don't know. Probably just
You might be able to get a deal on it.
Yeah, maybe.
That being said, I'm never working at Walmart.
Never say never.
Yeah, I would have to definitely go Walmart also, because it's pretty frustrating when I can't get my printer to work.
Yeah.
So, stocking shelves or even greeting, because sometimes the greeter people get to wear like fun hats or something like that. So, yeah.
You'd be a good greeter at Walmart.
Yeah.
I just walked in and you're there greeting me. I'd have
But
a good
then,
time shopping.
here's my problem. If I were to work at Walmart and somebody was walking out of the store trying to steal something, what would I do? I'm
Tackle
just
him.
a greeter, man.
Hey, don't take that. Please put it back. Be a good citizen.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I've heard of people who they just like have to let them take it sometimes because they can't do anything.
Yeah, with all the new.
But now they have like gates and stuff that don't let you steal more valuable products. And they
I know,
close
but
on
even
you.
if they go off,
Sometimes
well, that's
they,
still
I have
catching.
seen, sometimes they do have police officers there, or
Yeah.
like security guards who could come over.
but there's also like
They
different.
don't always have those though.
There's different branches of like Walmart that you could work at.
Yeah.
So like there's a mechanic section. I know that.
I guess you could also work at headquarters too. And just
Yep.
do
Yeah.
some desk
Like an
job.
office desk building
Yeah.
job.
It also depends on the Walmart you're working at, because you don't want to be working at the Walmart that's in the hood. Otherwise,
Sketchy
you might
downtown
get
one.
True.
Yeah.
some
Like
pretty
a
sketchy stories
neighborhood.
when you come home.
Or a neighborhood Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Lane?
I think definitely I'd be a Walmart employee.
Yeah.
But just 'cause who likes to fight with their printer, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It always happens to everyone, and it's just a horrible time to go through. So you gotta have your black ink.
You know,
Yep.
I think I personally would just be the guy who prints everything in pink. I think I could live with it. I don't print that often, and
Well, would you just buy black paper? Because the contrast would be pretty hard.
or no, just be or you know like the dark purplish pink that it does if you're out of ink and you do
Oh.
color only.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could live with that
Really?
because it's not like I'm printing a ton for my life unless I like try to become an author and then
Well, yeah, you
Yeah.
probably wouldn't use a.
well unless that's like including everything you're trying to print.
Mhm.
So if you're trying to print your book, that wouldn't work well
Yeah, I have enough printer troubles
already.
as it is.
Yeah. Okay, you guys have any would you rather's?
Would you rather go skydiving or bungee jumping? Or is that too?
Those are
comparable?
Those are
related,
pretty
though.
comparable.
Yeah.
I'd think like skydiving or get a free haircut or something like
Okay.
that.
Go for it.
All right, we'll go with that. Would you
Okay.
rather go skydiving or get a free haircut?
Ooh, is the skydiving paid for?
Uh,
Or do I have to pay
no.
for it?
No, you have to
You
pay
have
for the
to pay for
skydiving.
it. But even then, it's more exciting than getting a free
Yeah.
haircut. So
So, I've been telling myself that one day I'll go skydiving, and I still might one day, but I'd have to. I'll think about it for a couple
Like you
more
said
days.
some
earlier,
more
he's a-
courage.
Afraid of heights.
I'm a little bit afraid of heights, but I think I could make myself do it, especially if somebody else went
Yeah,
with
if you had
me.
like a group of friends that invited
Yeah.
you.
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
Do it. But yeah, I got all my haircuts for free anyway because my mom cuts my hair.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I would definitely go skydiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, my brother-in-law has promised to take me skydiving for my 18th birthday, 'cause
Ooh.
you know you can't skydive until you're 18. So
Mhm.
I mean, I definitely choose skydiving 'cause I don't care about my hair that much. And
Yeah.
if you've seen me, I just have a normal buzz cut. So,
Yeah.
and like Adam said, we get our haircuts for free. So, anyway,
I think skydiving could be fun, but I don't think I really want to do it that much. So I think I'd probably take the free haircut.
Mhm. I'd have to go. My haircuts are also free. My dad does them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I have to muster up some serious courage to go skydiving.
Yeah.
But
you-
I'd probably take the skydiving because once you're like out of that first feeling, I think it'd be pretty fun. It's like
Yeah.
once somebody pushes me off of the plane,
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, the hardest part's got to be jumping, and then the next hardest would be landing. But
Yeah.
other-
well, but the
in
first
middle
time
would
you
be
go
really cool.
skydiving, you always have an instructor tied to you. So,
I don't know if I'd go skydiving without an instructor
I don't think you can for the first time.
ever.
Yeah, I probably
Even
wouldn't
my
either.
like 20th time, I don't trust myself. What if that parachute just doesn't pull?
They
or
have a
you pass
backup.
out and while you're
I never feel
falling,
anything.
and
Yeah.
then-
Huh.
Here's what I'd do. If my parachute didn't work, I'd play a little fun competition against myself
Okay.
to break the world record. How far could I make it into the ground when I hit?
Yeah.
just like go in a diving position and see
Yep.
how far you bury yourself.
Like
Yeah.
big splash, little splash type thing.
Yeah.
But you'd never know
Hey,
because you'd be dead.
other people would find
I
out.
think you'd probably go deeper if you could like land in a sand pit, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we're talking about the grass here.
10,000 feet
I think
in
your
the air
best shot would be
dropping.
head first.
Yeah, just make it quick.
Yeah, because
Bam.
that'll get you the deepest. Because I think your feet will just buckle, and then you kind of just like flop. If you get head first, you might get like 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Depends on how hard the soil is.
Yeah.
Also depends on what angle. 'Cause if you're
Yeah.
just going straight down, it'll like stop you pretty fast. But if you're going at an angle,
Or you just slide on the grass. You wouldn't go deep at all, though.
hey,
Well, enough about death by falling from an
Okay.
airplane.
Yeah, I think I have one more. Okay, would you rather be a music stand
Okay.
or have your fingernails always be an inch past the tip of your finger?
Well, music stand
Ooh.
easy. I can't stand my fingernails being long.
Okay, maybe half an inch. Inch? Well, no, we can do inch.
An inch long.
Past the end of your finger.
Yeah, half an inch is still pretty long. Okay, we'll do half an inch.
Yeah, I would never want my fingernails to go any longer than
The tip.
the tip of my finger.
Yeah,
I mean, not that music stands have ears, but think of all the music you'd get to hear
yeah.
if
Yep.
you did have ears as a
And then
music
maybe all the
stand.
sermons too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
music stand definitely has a really interesting life.
Yeah, because like they're either not around people at all, or they're like in front of a crowd. You know.
See, for example,
Yeah.
this music stand right here gets to listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah. It's been here the whole time. It's heard all our
Behind the scenes
behind the
stuff.
scenes when we created the music,
Yep.
all our fighting.
all of our awkward pauses. Yeah.
Yeah, mostly awkward pauses. Would you want to be a music stand, Lane?
Oh yeah, definitely. I can't stand my fingernails being long.
Yeah. I don't think there's any question about it. I'd be a music stand.
Yeah.
Yep, I cut my fingernails when I see any white, so.
Yeah, I wonder, half an inch, that would be really long. Maybe it depends on my profession.
Mhm.
If I was like, well, even like using a keyboard, that half an inch starts getting in the way. You'd have to like type really flat fingered, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess if I was writing with a pencil, that wouldn't affect it much. I don't know. I think a music stand would be a fun life, though.
Yeah, it would be.
Here's a question for y'all. Do you chew your fingernails or cut with the fingernail clippers?
Ooh.
I just
I
cut
think
'em.
there's an option C here.
Yeah,
Okay, what's
I
the
use the
option
third
C?
option.
You pick them.
Oh, no. I
Pick
use the
'em?
fourth
Like-
option.
With your other
What's the
fingernail?
fourth option?
We all do something different.
No, what I use toenail clippers.
Well, that's the
Oh.
same thing.
Okay.
So they're bigger than fingernail clippers.
Yeah,
so
but-
I don't chew them because I just can't do that. I don't really use fingernail clippers a lot.
Mhm.
So I use my other fingernails to pick at them.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that.
Not currently, I could not because I just use the fingernail clippers.
Okay.
Huh.
But
Yeah.
I'm more of a pick guy.
I just use the clippers.
Well, I haven't used the fingernail clippers for my fingers in like 3 years. I've always been a chewer.
Did your mom try to teach you not to chew?
I don't know. I don't remember. But
Okay.
I've always
she probably just gave up at some point.
Just it is like when I get nervous, I start chewing on my fingernails. I know it's like the stereotype, everybody you chew on your fingernails when you get nervous, but I actually do it.
Yeah.
So.
He grinds through those.
He chews on his sweatshirt strings, anything he
I
has in
do.
front of him, he'll just
Yeah,
start
the
chewing on it
microphone.
when he
I
gets
think the
nervous.
problem was when I was a baby, my mom took away my passy because it was only allowed on my bed, and I would just sit on my bed and poop my pants because I refused to give up my passy. So,
How do you remember that?
I don't remember it. She just told me that's what I did.
Okay.
Mm.
So you were
But-
scarred for life, and now you chew anything.
Now I
you
chew
get.
on everything because my passy was taken away. Too
Yeah.
young.
Mm.
Mm.
I got one more would you rather question.
Okay.
Would you rather see everything upside down
Okay.
or not be able to distinguish between your left and right sides?
Ooh.
I would have to go my left and right side because it's not very often that I have to distinguish between my left and right.
Mhm.
But then again, it's muscle memory, so that'd be pretty hard.
So are we
But-
talking about like you can't distinguish your left and right hand, or you can't tell like which direction?
Like
You're
you don't
seeing-
know the difference between your left and your
Okay,
right
but
side.
you could still like say this hand I can move this hand here, or do you like
Mm.
lose control of which hand you're controlling?
No, you
'Cause-
can tell which hand you move, but like if you were
You
to
just-
say turn left, you're like I don't know what that means, but you can point to a certain direction.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd definitely go. I'd rather lose my sense of right or left
So
because after a while, seeing everything upside down, it just makes my world crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
stand it.
I don't want to see upside down. The only thing would be like driving. I guess could you like look at your GPS and it points in the direction?
Yeah, I
and
think the
turn?
GPS would have to point instead of.
But imagine driving upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool.
well, I'm driving on the ceiling.
I'd definitely have to go with the left and right, I think.
Yeah.
Me too. Besides, it would make some stuff harder.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Well, we all had a pretty eventful yesterday, did we not?
yeah, we did.
All right. So I
Yep.
think everybody just needs to share what they did yesterday because we had some
Okay.
pretty cool things happen.
What did you do yesterday, Lane?
To be honest, I don't really remember. Let me look at my calendar real quick and see what was on the calendar. Here we go. Yeah, there's nothing on the calendar.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything. Well, me and Cade had an eventful yesterday.
Yeah. So let's
I
start
did
with
too.
Colton.
I did whatever Adam
Right.
did, pretty much.
Colton, what did you do?
So I woke up, and I actually set 2 alarms just in case I missed my first one, which I didn't, and I was pretty happy. So I
Okay.
woke up, and I ate breakfast, and I went to work, and I was at work for 6 hours. I'm pretty chill. Actually, it was not chill. It was really busy. But then I came back, and I finished the book Animal Farm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with Napoleon the pig and all those crazy actors. And then we had some friends over, a rather big family, at like, I don't know, 6 o'clock. And so we just played outside for a little bit. We played, what did we play? We played football, volleyball, and soccer. And then, yeah, that's pretty much all I did.
Wow.
Then I went to sleep.
Sounds fun.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was fun. I won in all 3.
That's makes it better.
Sounds like a solid Saturday.
Still got those 10-year-olds cooked.
Well, what we did yesterday, it was planning to be like a regular boring, not really boring, but like we didn't have a lot to do. So in the morning we went into town and we mow a couple yards up there. So we just finished all that, do the first mowing for the season,
Yeah.
clean out all the gutters and stuff. But then on the way home, we got a call from our neighbors, and in their tree, they had this giant swarm of bees.
Ooh.
And so they're like, we're going to catch these bees and we're going to make some honey with them. So
Yeah.
they said, can you take, so we have these big pole saw, it's basically just a saw on a stick, and you can cut off branches that are high in the air with it.
Uh huh.
So they asked us to bring that over, and we brought our pickup over, and it was me and my mom, and we were going to stand in the back of the pickup bed and cut the branch down that the bees were on and put it in a bucket. But as soon as we drove the pickup over there, the bees scattered, and they flew all over the place, and we were tracking them down, and they finally landed in another tree, just across the road in the ditch. And so we went over there, and we found the tree that they were in, and we cut all the sticks around it. And what happens is they just clump up in a big group and huddle together on a branch.
To protect the queen.
And so all you have to do is cut the branch on both sides and stick them, and just take the branch down and stick them in a bucket, and then put them in a lid, and they'll live in that box that you put them in, and just make their honey there. And so that's pretty much what we did. We cut the branch down, stuck them in the box. I don't think we got a single sting.
Wow.
And yeah, it's pretty cool. So maybe they'll send us over some honey one day, if eventually when the bees make it. But yeah, that was a pretty exciting yesterday.
Yeah, that is a cool.
Yeah, and after he said all that, it all came back to me, and I remembered what we did yesterday. So
Oh, what I did yesterday was I woke up bright and early
Mm-hmm.
and went and took the ACT.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it was all right. Besides, I'm pretty sure in the last 2 years they've changed a little bit of how it's formatted. So I went to like this preparation course 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and so like all the timing and strategies, they were slightly off. So
Yeah.
it was all my timings. So it wasn't a big deal, but all my timings was a little off. But that actually reminded me of a time I felt out of place.
okay.
Yeah, at a public school.
Ooh.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Not you.
It's always so weird going into public school with all those people.
When I took the ACT, I felt the exact same way.
Yeah.
Oh, I always feel awkward. Continue.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. So we live relatively close to a pretty big public high school
Yeah.
or middle school, or one of the two. And it's always awkward because it's always busy right around like 3 when parents are picking up their kids, right?
Mhm.
And I always feel out of place when I'm driving on that road at like 3 o'clock because I know I don't go to that school, but all the cars like around me probably think I go to that school. It's like it's awkward, so I'm like I don't go to this school.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Surrounded by people who do.
Yeah.
I had a
Alright.
question for you, Kate, on the
Okay.
ACT. Were you wearing a T-shirt?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, what were you wearing?
I was wearing a hoodie.
Okay. Did the hoodie have giant sweat marks in your armpits after you finished?
No, it didn't.
Okay, because when I took the ACT, my armpits were sweating so much. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it wasn't too hot in the room. It was cool enough.
It was just because I was nervous, though.
Yeah.
the,
When I get nervous, I mainly only get back sweat. So, well, no, I don't really get back sweat when I'm nervous. Just when I drive in my car and I don't have an AC, I get back sweat.
Oh yeah.
There was a funny thing at the ACT though, because there's like I encountered what you might call like a what do you call them, like a high school jockey, you know? Is that what they're called?
Athletic.
Yeah, kind of. So he just walked in, like you heard this guy with a super deep voice. It was like crazy deep, and he was talking to the lady, and he said his name was I don't know, or like Joseph or something. I don't think that's his actual name. But he walked in, and then it's just this guy. He's probably like 6 foot flat, but he probably weighs like 230. He's just a football player, pure muscle, you know, really big. And then he just like walks back, and he only has like or he didn't like bring a calculator or anything, so he has to borrow a calculator and a pencil. And he forgot his ticket, so he won't get his results in time, or he probably never got his ticket. But he took it. But it was funny, like in the hallways, they were talking about like how they only understood like 3 of the math questions full time with their friends. But then they were like kind of making themselves feel better. One of them was saying like, but no one else, or he was saying, I bet no one else here could bench 315. So he's just like justifying his worst scores in the ACT with his.
Well, you can't. You're not supposed to talk about how you did or any of the questions or anything like that.
Yeah, you're not.
Oh, so why are we talking about it?
We can talk.
No, we can't after.
You just can't discuss any of the
we can't talk
material
about the
inside the
material.
test.
Ah.
Yeah.
How do you think you did?
Okay, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But after the ACT, I went home. I ate some lunch, and then I just did some school and stuff. And then in the afternoon, me and my sister left the house, and we went to pick up some friends. And we went to Verdi's Messa da Requiem. I believe it's Italian, so I probably mispronounced that. But it was a great requiem.
I don't even know what a requiem is, kid.
It's kind of like a funeral song in a way. It's like a song kind of for the dead, but also for mourning and stuff.
Okay.
It's basically just a really long prayer to music.
Did somebody die?
Not specifically, no.
Okay.
It was at the local orchestra.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but it was a really good performance.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, when I took the ACT, there was a bunch of public school kids around me, but when I walked into my room, I looked around, and all of the kids are just classic public schoolers. But there were 3 kids that I said, those kids are 100% homeschoolers.
Yeah.
So I looked at them, and all 3 of them had, their regular Nalgene water bottles with the stickers all over it. They had the khaki pants with the hiking tennis shoes, and it was just classic homeschooling. I'm like,
Wait.
finally, I found somebody that I can relate to in this vast sea of public schoolers. It was funny.
Something else funny, when I took the PSAT probably 6-8 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
when I was there, I had to go the day before because I had to take it on my computer, so we had to set it up. And since I didn't go there, so I went and visited the lady. But she was walking me around the whole school, showing me where I had to go in the morning and stuff, because I was homeschooled, But she treated me like I was had these special needs and stuff, and she's being super nice and sweet to me. And then as we're walking, she yell at kids to put on their lanyards and stuff. And then she talked to me nicely the whole time. And then the next day at the test, she would tell people you're not allowed to do this or that. But then she would come over and talk to me all nice and sweetly, ask me Kate, how are you doing? How do you think? She just check up on me. It's really funny.
You were the teacher's pet.
Well, yeah, but I kind of. She just didn't want me to have a bad experience, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was funny.
Well, the top secret project that we've been working on, it has generated a lot of, what would you call that?
Questions. Hype.
Confusion, hype.
Buzz.
People
Buzz.
are excited.
Yeah, it's a big thing in the know.
And they want to know more. And us being the kind-hearted people that we are, we're going to give you more. We have 3 words, and only 3 words.
Okay,
So
it's
listen
4
carefully.
words.
It's actually 4 words.
Four
Okay.
words, yeah.
4 words, and we're going to give them to you in no particular order. Here they are.
Sickness.
Nachos.
Mop, bucket.
Okay. Well, I hope you all are satisfied with that. And with that, like and subscribe.
Comment.
Leave a review.
And ask your questions if you have them.
Oh, we forgot about a poll.
Oh.
We could do would you rather
Walmart.
blade of grass. Oh, no, we could do the Walmart and ink. That's a good one.
Walmart and ink.
Would you rather
work at Walmart or always be out of black ink?
Okay. Well,
There you go. That's the poll.
Yeah.
Until next time, blue.
Blue.
Not doing that.
Blue?
No, you got to go like higher to lower.
Blue? Okay. We're going to close with a quick competition. We're all going to say blue, and you're going to guess if option 1, 2, 3, or 4 is Lane saying blue. So just comment which one says it first. Or comment which number you think Lane is.
Okay.
Blue.
Blue?
Blue.
Blue.
I think it was pretty obvious.